any way you want to show me, I will speak the truth for you. Let them know this truth, that Nigeria is dark, Nigeria is backward, Nigeria is useless, Nigeria is suffering because of dogma of religion, dogma of tribe. Look at this one telling me rubbish about Obi. He doesn't know who Obi is. Go and ask Obi who is his chief butcher. James Wanfo. Where is the Wanfo? Daki Izu youth. Daki Okuzu youth inside Izu River. Answer 2020. Where were this marker? Where were you when we were shot at and let it again? This just switch right now. It's in Canada as a figure thief. Because of these thinking people, he goes to school, he's not educated. What is your school? Nigerian school is a rubbish place to go. I hate the schools I went to. They are rubbish. I trash all those rubbish. You know what can save you? It's not God. It's not Satan. It is you that will lead yourself by a revolution now. If you don't revolt, obedient people are zombies.
Dr. Masanga. Thank you to Biafrans. Thank you to Africans. Thank you to all the people, everyone listening. Again, as Dr. Masanga has said, his program, this is not my first time. I've been on this program several times and followed him closely. And I can see the influence you make in the world, not just in Africa, but in the Pan-African and in the world, and in your suggestions to make the world a better place. That is what all of us aspire for. Again, my name is Dr. Ngozi Oroboeze. I'm the Chief of Staff for the Biafra government in exile under the leadership of His Excellency, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Let me start by thanking you, Masanga, for what you've been doing over the years to promote equity, justice, freedom, and peace, especially in the African region. I thank you for what you've been doing in the past to ensure that our leader, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, who has been incarcerated by the Nigerian government for almost 3 years right now, you speak up for him, just as the whole world has been speaking up for him. When the Nigerian government went to Kenya, in connivance with the Kenyan government, to extradite our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, from Kenya to Nigeria, they think that will be the end of the restoration of Biafra, or talking about Biafra. But they do not know that you can only quench innocence, you can only quench peace for so long. What did Nnamdi Kanu do? Nothing except let my people go. Biafrans have been going through a lot of degradation, a lot of killings under the Nigerian government. Many people that are here are aware of that. Nigerian government has a policy to reintegrate and rehabilitate non-terrorists into the military, into the police, into the security apparatus. How can you function as a country when terrorists are running your country? And then when the civilians, when the Christians in the Biafra territory talk, Nigerian government unleashes these reintegrated terrorists in army uniform to Biafra land. They kill, they maim, they degrade. Few days ago in Aba, Biafrans were made to hands up as they walk by the Nigerian military. But same thing happened few days ago in Zamfara state. Just yesterday, 7 policemen were killed. Nigerian government has not done anything. The citizens has not been harassed. No houses has been burnt. But Biafrans, we've marched peacefully in the past. We've marched unarmed in the past. But Nigerian government has continued to kill us. But right now, we said we must defend ourselves. So what you are doing in restoring peace to Africa, I thank you for that. And Biafrans, thank you for that. For speaking up for our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, and the support. Biafrans, thank you. What I want the world to know, whoever is listening to me at this time, and I strongly believe that in the program for Dr. Masanga, I expect people like President Tinubu to be listening. I expect ex-President Buhari to be listening. Expect the DSS to be listening. Every single individual. At the end of the day, you cannot suppress the people that are determined to free themselves from a terrorist state. You cannot win that battle. That is where we are at this time. The only sane thing is to let Biafrans go. We've reported to the United Nations. In fact, the United Nations set up a committee that told Nigerian government to let Nnamdi go. They told them to let Nnamdi Kanu go, and they told him to reimburse him. Till today, Nigerian government have refused to do that. How do we operate with a government that have no respect for the rules of other countries, no respect for the lives and properties of the indigenous citizens of the country? How are we expected to live in the same country with reintegrated terrorists? So what you are saying is exactly what Africans must do. Nobody will fight this battle for us. After all, there are some African countries that removed themselves from ECOWAS. Yes, when they see that the ECOWAS cannot do nothing for them, or United Nations cannot do, they want to remove themselves, which is okay. So at the end of the day, we are the only one holding ourselves. We are the one that will free ourselves from these terrorists that are being pushed down to the Biafra territory by the Nigerian government. And we are willing to do that every single day because it is our land. It is how we want to be governed. It is protected. Self-determination is protected by the United Nations law. And we have a right to that. I don't want to hold us so far. In talking about the embassies, the different embassies that collect money from Africans every day, you are absolutely correct. How can embassies, Nigerian embassy, we have American embassy in Nigeria, European embassy in Nigeria, they make 5,000 schedules every day for Nigerians that want to run away from the reintegrated country. And all of them, they pay a fee before they process. Now, almost all of them are denied visa. Just few will be given that visa. But at the end of the day, they all pay the money. The money goes into their coffers and they use that money to still support the bad leadership in that country. So we know that it's going to stop. It's only a matter of time. As far as President Tinubu is concerned, he knows what he's doing. And he knows that this game he's playing with the terrorists in Nigeria is up. Today, Nigeria has been declared an Islamic state by Europe. How can Europe, Britain declare Nigeria an Islamic state when you know there are over 50% of Christians and 50% of Muslims in that country? We did not give that permission, but right now we are being treated as a Muslim state. That is going to stop. We must defend ourselves. And just there's so much to say, but I thank everybody. I do not want to take your time. Thank you so much, Dr. Masanga.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ngoti. Thank you very much,
I think
Dr. Ngozi.
deserves a hand of applause. That's our chief of staff.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Wow. And
thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's through talking that the anger goes down. If we don't talk, you end up fighting your husband or your wife. Always try this trick of talking at home. Whether you are married or not married, whether you have children or you have no children. If you have children, talk. If there is a problem you feel about one of your kids, talk. If you feel a problem about your wife, talk. Talking is part of the game of releasing anger. But it doesn't remove that focus on what you want to achieve. Because the more you hide the anger, the more you find yourself on a wrong path and then say, oh, why didn't I say this out? That's why talking about the Commonwealth silence. The silence, who is the Commonwealth? It's Britain. Britain is the Commonwealth. Who created the Commonwealth? Britain. Who is the head of the Commonwealth? Britain. The king is the head of the Commonwealth now. If we tell them that there is something wrong, they are here. I've seen all of them in the section where you have almost 27 people listening. 28 people listening. Among them, I know them. Very high people. I can't disclose because they chose not to be disclosed. But me, the owner of the platform, I know who they are. They are all here. Actually, they are now even more. 43 of VIPs listening quietly. They want to know the problem of this country. Why should the country be on the headlines? If you open up Nigerian television, fortunately, it has very beautiful ladies on TV. Very beautiful. But what they bring out of the mouth on when they're announcing, you run away, you close it quickly. I don't know whether you people have seen that. Once they start saying the headlines, 200 girls kidnapped. Hey? 22 people, 500 people killed, 300, 200, oh, houses demolished. You run off. You say, what is going on here? Bandits, we kidnapped the governor or the secretary or this one. They killed him. And so it's a country that we are supposed to look at as Africans of smaller states. We want to look at a population similar to that of China. China defeats the world because of the population. China manufactures shoes. They give us surplus. Did you know that every lady you find from Nigeria going to China in Kenya airport, they are going to China, I'm going to China, my container. You are buying surplus food. Surplus. Look at that. Surplus. Hey, surplus slippers, sandals, shoes, torch, surplus. Because Chinese, how many of them? 2 billion. 2 billion Chinese. Do you know what they do? If each of them wears one pair of shoes, excluding the children who are just born yesterday, there's a market already. So if 220 million Nigerians, if we in Uganda are selling our goods to a state which is stable, we wouldn't be exporting our goods and the coffee. For example, let's take coffee which can be drunk by anybody in the world. We wouldn't be taking our coffee to Italy, and then Italian man manufactures it and then sells as a cup of coffee in Rome is about 12 pounds or 12 euros. One cup of coffee like this. And that coffee came from Uganda at a very cheap price. What about if we exported that coffee to Nigeria? How many Nigerians will drink our Ugandan coffee? 200 million people. Out of that, remove like 170 people who are able to buy coffee. The rest of 50 or 30 or 60 million are not. are children and are not able to reach that. Okay, that is a market.
Dr. Musaga, I think it's actually the other way around. Nigeria has at least 100 million people on less than the below the poverty line, which is that they sustain on less than $1.90 a day. And in saying that, it doesn't mean that this over 100 million people who sustain on $1.90 a day, doesn't mean all of them each get $1.90 a day from whatever hustle they do. No, some of them maybe they only get in 10 cents a day. And out of these 100 million people, 13 million of them are the people they call Almajiri. 13 million.
What is Almajiri?
These are people
I don't know.
Locked.
Simplify that one.
They are locked in generational poverty. Okay. This means the parents were poor. They themselves are poor. Their children
I
are
understand.
poor.
I understand your point, but I was giving an illustration. Okay, a bigger population is where you can sell and supply your goods, but the population has been muzzled. The Biafran people are more. They have muzzled you, all of you, mixed you up with people sending their cows, with people who want a cow to get a passport. Excuse me. I had this being discussed in the Parliament of Nigeria, the Senate. I said, excuse me. I switched on again and I put my glasses. Is this correct? They want to give a cow a passport. So where are they exporting these cows? You know, there are certain things in Africa that are very interesting. You find people...
and the cows look malnourished. Yeah. You need to look at them. They look so malnourished.
So if we go on like this, these cows could reach Uganda, you know. So the earlier we sort out this mess, the better. Because if they are exporting cows each with a passport, and you are going to see one of the senators printing passports for cows. Corruption. The things have gone wrong everywhere in Africa, ladies and gentlemen. So the more we shout to these leaders, the more we arrange. The chief of staff is here. She should now start applying for a visa for Samoa so that we can meet there, Dr. Ngozi. Apply for a visa so that we can go and meet in Samoa. They are going there. I've got my documents. I've got my hotel. I've paid. They gave me my accreditation for the summit. So I will be inside to see that Tunubu of yours sleeping on the chair. So during break, I walk outside near him because now you are allowed in the main plenary. I said, my friend Tunubu, why are you killing Biafrans? Matanga does not fear. I will be a delegate on equal status with them. So fear me. Yes, I will also be there. So you don't stop on as other people are doing other things, good things. Fine. We should also do some other things to make noise. So that you write your good paper and present to the supply 54 copies in a good envelope and give to the personal assistant of each of the head of state.
So is it in Africa?
Samoa is going to be in the Pacific Ocean.
Because anything in Africa, our cabinets are not going. They're going to kidnap them the way they did to our leader. Please.
No, this is Samoa. You Google Samoa, the Commonwealth country in the Pacific Ocean near Tonga Island. That side there.